Hi, everyone. I decided to do this live video, and I'll be doing a tapping exercise along with this. Um, and the focus of this, as my short kind of description of this of the live video says, these are really distressing times, right? And if you're following the news at all, you are hearing we are holding a lot of grief. We are holding a lot of um, a- anger. We are holding a lot of fear because of the sheer uncertainty of what we are facing, and particularly for those of us who, actually, for all of us, but I experienced this in wanting to know that my kids are feeling okay, right? So one of the biggest things when you're a mom is you just want to feel that your children are okay. And part of that feeling that your children are okay is that you want to feel that they are feeling good. And that is a crazy thing to want right now, because many of us are not feeling good. And one of the biggest gifts we can give, um, both to our loved ones and to people, to the world in general, is we need some of us to be able to stand in the space of knowing and trusting that eventually everything will be okay, and also knowing and trusting that we can fully feel everything that we are feeling and not crumble. I've been reading this book called Everything Belongs, that is a book about the practice of contemplative prayer, written by Richard Rohr. And I posted this on as my story a few days ago. But what he says this about prayer, right? And I'm just going to read it. He says, fixing something does not usually transform us. And we, at this point, actually, we really, really desperately want to fix things. That's what we just want everything to be fixed and go back to normal. A very natural thing to want. So, fixing something does not usually transform us. We try to change events in order to avoid changing ourselves. We must learn to stay with the pain of life, without answers, without conclusions, and some days without meaning. That is the path, the perilous, dark path of true prayer. And that sentence about some days without meaning, right? A lot of us are trying to find meaning now. What does this mean? Where are we going? What do we, and to be able to pull ourselves back from that desire to need to know and to understand the meaning of what is going on, is difficult. And it is, in a certain sense, it is withdrawing from the comfort of uh, statements like everything happens for the good, and what I just began saying, holding the space, knowing that everything will work out, and we can trust everything, to be in that. um, we desperately want to be there. But the challenge and that we have to rise to right now is to be able to stay in this space of not knowing and be comfortable with that. I often say that we know that one of the big lessons of becoming an adult is learning to be comfortable with discomfort. And this is extremely uncomfortable, right, for all of us on so many levels. And so what we want to practice doing is to be in that space of learning to be present and allowing. So what I want to do is, I did this tapping to this morning, when I have a regular routine of prayer and meditation and tapping, um, and I was feeling this. I was really wanting to know that every person in my family is feeling okay and is not sad and is not, um, feeling desperate or angry or any of that. And I decided that I've been thinking about this, about learning how to hold the space. And this is not the first time I've had to do it, but this is a particularly poignant time in our lives where we really need to be able to do that if we can. And so I did this tapping practice, and that really helped me kind of come into my body and then expand my energy to hold the space for my children, for my husband, and for the world at large. Because we are hearing so many stories about people that we know love, great musicians, so many doctors, so many other people dying. If you read the news, and if you scroll as much as I do, which is not advisable, you can actually sense the grief and the fear and the desperate desire for coming back to a sense of calm. So what I'm going to start right now is a tapping routine that will help you. Tapping, as if you've followed me at all, is tapping on your acupressure points. It is a practice with a strong evidence base about how it helps calm the nervous system down, and it is a good idea to be tapping several times a day in this time that we are in, because it does bring down your stress response. It does move you from a state of fight or flight or freeze to a more creative space where you can take constructive action. So before we start, one of the things I want you to practice doing is, as you take a breath in, I want you to take that breath in and feel it really flowing right down through your back, through your spine, and anchoring all the way to the earth. So to actually feel yourself anchored in that breath. So every time I tap, I'll tell you to take a deep breath and feel yourself being anchored onto the earth, and then allow the emotions that are coming up. Okay, so let's do that. Let's take a deep breath. Feel the breath go all the way down your back, down your spine into the earth. And as you do that, kind of broaden your shoulders, expand. Allow your energy to expand. The intention is to hold the space for those of us who are feeling really ragged and fearful and scared and angry and sad, and allow it, right? Don't push it away. Breathe it in and allow it. So I'm going to start tapping. These are scary times. Take a breath. Let it anchor you. These are scary times. I can sense the fear. I can sense the grief. I can sense the anger. and I'm willing to allow it. Take a deep breath. Feel yourself anchored to the earth. I sense the grief. I allow the grief. I read about all of these people who are dying. Sometimes, often dying alone, away from family. Take a breath and let it go. I allow that grief. Opening my energy, opening it, and allowing the world to feel that grief. Holding the space, not pushing it away, allowing. Take a breath, feel yourself in your body, feel your energy expand from your core, feel it hold the world and all your loved ones, allowing the sadness, allowing it without asking it to change, allowing all the people who are feeling sad to feel it fully, allowing them to feel it and holding them, loving this moment that we are in. Take a breath, allowing the fear. All of the young people who have suddenly had their life upended. All of the artists who have had their livelihood taken away. All of the waiters and waitresses who have no work. All of the maids and house cleaners who have no work, who are terrified. Acknowledging all of that. Acknowledging all of the fear that is in the world right now. Taking a breath and feeling myself anchored in my body. Feeling that breath right down through my spine into the earth. Expanding my energy, holding the space, allowing the fear. Allowing the uncertainty. Not desperately wanting it to change. Allowing. Allowing all of those youngsters who are just graduating from high school, from college, who are back home and don't have a clue as to what their future looks like. Allowing their rage at a system that has let them down. Visualizing them standing up and screaming. Even tearing people apart, just jumping and screaming and yelling, allowing that anger. Taking a deep breath, feeling my breath go right down my spine and anchoring into the earth, expanding my energy and allowing the anger, allowing the rage. We can hold the space. We can allow this. The biggest gift I can give right now is to hold the space for the grief, the anger, the uncertainty, the fear, and the impossibility of knowing the answers, the impossibility of finding meaning right now. There is a part of me that does want to rest back and find meaning and find answers and want to say things like, oh, everything is for the good. Oh, this will create change that we desperately need. Those are great things to say, but it doesn't negate what we're all feeling. So let's be honest. Let's be authentic. Let us allow. Take a breath and let it go. Feel that breath right down your spine, anchoring into the earth. Let's feel our energy expanding from our core and allowing. Let's be fully present in this moment. Allowing this moment to exist exactly as it does. Not wanting change, not wanting answers, allowing it. That, as Richard Rohr says, is the perilous path of true prayer. So just let's allow it. Take a breath. Allow the grief. And if you feel tears flowing down, let them. Allow your children to feel scared. Allow your children to be effing angry because the system has let them down. Allow the grief and the fear of the millions who have all just applied for unemployment insurance. Allow the chaos. Allow the chaos. Honor it. Honor this moment. Take a breath. Let it go. Just be in this space. Breathe in. Feel yourself anchor to the earth. And allow. And I'm going to stop the tapping there. I encourage you to do this every time you feel the desire for other people to not feel worried. That is, every time you feel the need for you not to feel worried, every time you feel terrified, that if you actually allow yourself to fully feel what you are feeling, that you would be so destroyed that you will not get up again. Use this tapping. Just feel yourself, feel your emotions fully, come fully into your body by breathing in, feeling yourself in your body, And what you will discover is that as terrible as these times are, you do have the ability to stay in this space and to allow it. And what will that result in? I have absolutely no idea. But all I know is that what we need right now is to be in that, is to not be desperately pushing away at everything that we are feeling, but to honor and welcome and stay in that space, and then see what comes up the next minute. So fully be in yourself and allow yourself the moments of desperation, allow yourself the moments of anger, allow yourself the moments of grief, and know that it will not crush you. Okay, I hope that helps. Would love to see your comments in below. We will get through this. We have no other option, right? We what is the option other than getting through? We will get through it, and there will be difficult times. We will have to probably figure out a whole new way of existing in the world. There is still, despite everything that I said, a part of me that really does believe that we will pivot to a more equitable society, but that does not negate what we are feeling right now. That is not a way to dismiss this present angst. And so it's really, really important for us to learn to be present. And also this whole idea of holding the space for others to feel everything that they're feeling, to allow the world, in a sense, to be where it is without rejecting it. And as Richard Rohr said, that is the path, the perilous path of true prayer. And so I hope this has been a space of prayer for you. And I thank you for joining me. Nancy's here, Yogesh is here, Marie DeMello's here, Pam Alverson is here. Thank you guys. Hope that helped. Take care.